welcome to KBA's Vendor Viewpoint podcast. And this is where we bring together Kentucky bankers and the industry's top vendor solutions to discuss important topics that affect your bank. This is Selina Parrish, KBA Director of Membership, Products, and Services. Today, we are featuring KBA-endorsed Banc Card of America. With us today is Tyler Cook, Banc Card's Senior Vice President, Director of Financial Institutions, and also KBA member Corey Chesnut, Executive Vice President and Chief Banking Officer with Hometown Bank in Corbin. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Corey, for being with us today. Let's kick off, Tyler. Tell our audience all about your background and your role there at Banc Card.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me on here, having us on here, Selina. Just the opportunity to tell you a little bit about Banc Card and possibly get a testimonial. But I kind of give you my background. I don't have much background. I went to graduated at the University of Kentucky, so I'm a proud Big Blue fan through and through. But really came to Banc Card a year out of college, and have really, that's all I've done since. So April 1st will be my 22nd year here with Banc Card.
Congratulations.
I have extensive banking background, but Banc Card is really all I've done since college. So it's something I'm passionate about. Working with community banks, especially Kentucky community banks, has been a real pleasure as we continue to grow throughout the state. So real quick, as you said, I'm the Director of Financial Institutions / Regional Manager. So I work with most of the bank contracts that we have in the states that basically I manage, serve, lead, if you will. So that really consists of Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, West Virginia, and Southern Ohio kind of makes up my region. So as we continue to grow, we're adding more and more people and bringing on new banks. And, it all started here in Kentucky. As I was telling you before, this being my first podcast, this is my first official one. So I can actually tell people after this that I've done a podcast. But my story goes back to 2003. When I joined Banc Card, I was actually working for Banc Card in Atlanta, Georgia. And in 2003, we had six sales reps. Fast forward, I had the opportunity to come to Kentucky and really grow my home state and try to see how what Banc Card could do in the state of Kentucky. So, fast forward, to 2025, here we are. We've been the endorsed provider for the KBA since 2020.
Yes.
I'd like to say it's been a fun, enjoyable ride as we've kind of taken those 5 years to the point where we're now partnering with 83 of the banks in Kentucky and growing.
That's great.
So, the success has been fast, exciting, but the opportunity to partner and grow and just really learn, the banks that are out there and the people that I've met have been exceptional. So just kind of give you the background a little bit on Banc Card. We've been around since 97, so 28 years, privately held. Currently, we're working with just over 700 financial institutions in 29 states. So since 2003, we've seen explosive growth, to say the least. I was telling you before we started, really the Banc Card and working with state banking associations started with Kentucky. We kind of used that as a roadmap, and since then we've become the endorsed provider in Alabama, Georgia, Indiana, Missouri, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Carolina, and West Virginia. And really, what sparked that was this relationship with the KBA. So I want to thank you and Ballard and the rest of the crew over there because you kind of paved the way for us to leverage the relationship that you have with these banks in your state and the experience into success for us, but not only for us, but for banks and their customers. And that's really where we see success and get excited is by coming in, kind of riding the ship and helping those banks help their customers with a service that they all need. And that's accepting credit cards at their business. I mean, 10 years ago, even 20 years ago, you can walk into a business and they would say, well, we don't take credit cards. Well, 2025, there's not many, if any, businesses out there that don't process credit cards as a form of payment. So business for us is extremely good and, really heading that way to almost a cashless society, which, bodes well in our favor. So It's exciting, and we're bringing on more and more banks, and the trend will continue. But we couldn't do it without the KBA and partners like Corey and Hometown Bank.
Yes, and Corey, thank you. Thank you, Tyler. Obviously, your growth and your success speaks for itself and all the expansion that you've had in all the states around us. And Corey, how long have you used Banc Card there at Hometown? And what are your customers telling you all about Banc Card?
So May will be be 10 years that we've used Banc
Wow.
Card,
Okay.
and I think that that our customers would say that they're extremely happy. We very rarely see customers that that come off of the product once we get them signed up, and it is just it. I've told Tyler before that it's really pretty easy once we get our foot in the door and get Tyler and his team to our customers. The close rate is extremely high, and that speaks volumes to Banc Card. The personal service that they provide, the attention to detail. It's not a sales driven. You don't feel like it's pushy. You feel like that it's an extension of the bank. So I think that it's something that our customers are extremely happy with. Not just the service, but the products as well. The how the contracts are done or lack thereof. So there are so many positives that is attractive to our customers about Banc Card.
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
and Selina, it's funny because Hometown Bank was really one of the first banks that we brought on as a partner in the state. So this is a great time because yes, our 10th anniversary with them. It's a huge milestone, but it's funny to see how far it's come since our beginning and really starting with Hometown Bank. I've known Corey prior to him getting there, so we were extremely excited when he joined the Hometown team because we had that relationship and knew each other prior, and now we actually get to work together. And Corey's team works with one of our best sales rep, Ethan Rayleigh there in Somerset, who covers the Corbin, London, Somerset area. We've got about 10 local reps that cover the state for Banc Card, and hopefully I'm not getting off script here, but that's really what Banc Card brings to the table. Is our industry as merchant services has become very automated. It's an 800 number. If you're having a problem taking money into your business, your terminal isn't working, your fees are high, you've got an 800 number. And that's what we've done since day one and will continue to do. That's just our model, is offering local face-to-face service to local community banks. And it's one of those things that unfortunately has disappeared in our industry, but it's our main focal point. And that's really why we have the success we do. There's no secret sauce. It's just taking great care of banks and their customers, answering the phone, being responsive, and servicing them where they can't get that really anywhere else anymore. So that's the secret sauce.
And Tyler mentioned the rep, and that relationship is so crucial between a merchant services provider and a bank. And our rep Ethan is phenomenal. Just this week he was in the branch, and I saw him. I went, spoke to him, and he was talking to me about that he had just left one of our customers, following up. I mean, this is not the customer didn't need anything. He was just in the area close to the bank. He stopped in, he said hello to that customer, and came in and said, oh, by the way, I spoke to his brother, who is our customer's brother, who is also a business owner, and I think I'm going to go meet with him too. And so he's actively, it's just, and it's not one of those things to where you even flinch. As a banker, sometimes we want to hold our customers really close to our chest, but in this relationship, it's not something that we worry about. I mean, they're a source of business development for us as well. So we really appreciate that, and that's really what I've seen. I've dealt with other merchant services providers before, and there's no better company to work personally with you and your customers than Banc Card.
Yeah, and that's what we strive for. Just what Corey said is our salespeople in those markets are our team members. They're part of that bank's team. So when Ethan or Ryan or Jace or Don walk into their bank partner, they're looked at as an extension of the bank. And the same thing when we go to see Corey's customers, we are an extension of Hometown Bank. We are the face of that bank. So the professionalism, the responsiveness, the communication is of utmost paramount importance, because when they send us to see their customer, we need and have to let them know where we are with that customer. And that's what Corey was saying. Ethan was in there letting them know, hey, I just want to let you know I got Selina set up. She's up and running. She's happy. By the way, she's sent me to see a family member, a cousin, a friend, and that's what we focus on too. Is in that partnership, we're a partner. We don't like the term vendor. We like partner, because a partnership is a two-way street. Corey's going to send us to see his customer, but we're looking for every opportunity to bring something back to our bank partner. And that's what Corey said about business development, is we're trying to uncover loan opportunities, deposit accounts. We look at ourselves as a deposit acquisition tool for our bank partners. And that's that two-way partnership that we bring to the table.
So exciting. Yeah.
We've had just this past year, 2024, first of the year, we thought, okay, let's make a push. We had never really done it, but let's really make a push to try to bring more merchant services customers in. We ran some quarterly promotions, and I think we kept Ethan pretty busy, but he was communicating every step of the way. He was not only filling in our chief retail officer, but myself, Tyler. We were all, we knew what was going on, and we achieved some really, really good results. And quite frankly, there wasn't that much effort that we had to put into it. I mean, it was a lot of the hard work for Banc Card. And so it was just it was something that was, a lot of times, we have these products and we want to promote. It gets hard to track. It gets hard to really focus on it when you have especially in community banks where you have so many other things going on. Yes. But they made it extremely easy for us. They would email out our branch managers saying, okay, here's who did what this month, and it became a little internal competition too. And so, we could just sit back and, on this end, we could just sit back and watch our new customers and new accounts roll in. And then, not only does that affect the bottom line, but, it helps us build relationships with our customers too. It makes them more sticky. They're less likely to leave us. So
for non-interest income is merchant services, and really it's kind of like a broken record, Selina. It's a lot of banks, that are using somebody else out there. It's very reactive. It is, hey, we've got somebody to call if a customer walks in and says, I need a credit card machine. Well, what Banc Card brings to the table, just like it was when we started 10 years ago at Hometown, when we first approached them, they said, we have somebody to call. We're not really sure, but we call them if somebody walks in the door. And that is a very reactive program. It's almost non-existent. And that's really where Banc Card comes in and rights the ship to turn it from a reactive program into a proactive program. And that's what we've done with Corey. That's what we've done with this team, is to say, how do we let every one of your business customers know that they can process their credit cards through their bank? And that's the kind of the light bulb that goes off is pretty much every one of any bank's business customers takes credit cards as a form of payments. They don't use the bank, but if they knew the bank, they could do it through the bank, then they would. And that's that proactive approach that we bring to the table, is let's get out, proactively go see these customers and just let them know, hey, you're taking credit cards. Did you know you could do it through Hometown Bank? You've got everything else there. You can do that as well. And usually it's a shock and awe of, oh my gosh, had I known that 10 years ago, I would have gone ahead and set that up. So it's all about proactivity and getting out and getting in front of the customer. Everything we do is face to face. Probably another big differentiator of us and the rest of the industry is our local people are going to see the bank's customers in person, which doesn't really happen anymore. It's all done via phone. I'll email you this, and we'll ship you that. Everything we do is we're a face-to-face company, always have been, always will be. And it's that personal touch, sitting down with a business owner, asking them questions about their business, how they take cards, hand-holding them through the process. We fill out the applications, we do the installation. Each customer has our local rep cell number. It's about as hands-on. We say old-fashioned. I know a lot of people don't like to say old-fashioned anymore, but when it comes to customer service, old-fashioned still holds some truth and some utmost importance. So that's kind of where we hang our hat.
And I just hearing both of you, it definitely sounds like that perfect home run scenario of where the banks hit a home run because they've got Banc Card and the customer, and everybody's working together. And what a great relationship and partnership to have, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yes. And from the business standpoint, with the variety of businesses that are in town, from fast food restaurants and just all the small businesses, is there any sweet spot that you find is the best? Or
to answer your question, no.
Okay.
If they're taking credit card in any form or fashion,
Okay.
that is a great opportunity. And that's another thing, is we do not discriminate. We don't ask, well, how much volume are they processing? If they run one transaction a year, we want them doing it through Banc Card in their bank. So from the smallest merchant to one transaction to the multi-million-dollar processing, we want them all. And that's what we tell our bank partners is we want to go. They say, well, they may be too small. Nobody's too small. Nobody's too big. We want to talk to them. We want to get them on their bank's program. And as far as technology goes, I could go on for another 2 hours talking about technology. The best way to sum it up, and another big differentiator, is we partner with the top 6 processors in the industry. So a bank is not pigeonholed into using one. We have 6 different options. So the funny saying we have in our branches, and Corey's probably heard this, is if a merchant comes into a bank and says, "Can you do this?" Our response is, "Yes, we can. I'm going to have our local rep from Banc Card give you a call." Because we really can handle, provide, you name it. If it's out there in our industry, we've got access to it. So again, I could talk on and on about it, but that's our running joke is, "Hey, can you do this?" "Yes, we can. Let me have Banc Card give you a call."
Yeah.
I think if you looked at the range of customers that we have, like that use Banc Card, you would be absolutely surprised because they're literally on the opposite ends of the spectrum. So in what they.
Well, everybody, in banks thinks retail, face front and front, forward, swiping cards. When in reality, it's the B2B, the industrial park, the widget makers that nobody thinks about, that are actually doing the large volume processing. And, that's our job, to work with the banks and help them identify it, because that's not what a branch thinks about. It's, hey, who can I see physically that they think of?
And we have a local school system that uses Banc Card. So, I mean, you wouldn't think that would be somebody that would need,
school systems, churches. It's crazy who is processing credit cards these days. But we have everything from major universities to somebody that runs a market or a fair or a fall festival once a year. So it's nobody is too small or too big for Banc Card to help.
Yeah, I think of all those traveling vendors who go around and set up at flea markets or, those type of pop-up shops where they just need to have a tap and pay or something, and you guys are there to help those customers.
10 different options when it comes to mobile and tap pay. So.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's great.
Yeah.
Anything else?
When it comes to rates too, I've not seen many instances, if any, that I can come up with where Banc Card has not been able to beat the rate that
wow, that's great.
Yeah.
So this is not just about a service thing. Like I said before, the products are all there, and the rate too. Because at the end of the day, most customers are like, well, okay, how much is this going to save me, or how much is this going to cost me? And almost every single time when we get statements to compare, we see that Banc Card is able to beat it and are able to save that customer money.
Absolutely. Thank you, Corey. And like I said, big thing is, we don't put customers in contracts. We don't do leasing on equipment. Two pretty big stigmas have always been around the merchant services industry, because we go out and we earn that customer's business day in and day out. And if we don't do what we say, we don't do what we promise, that customer is free to leave us at any time. With a quick phone call to our office, they can close their account. So our people are held accountable to take care of those customers day in and day out, answer their phones, take care of their issues, and make sure they're happy and processing with the Banc Card, that rep for the next 25 years or however long, they own that business or are in business.
And I think that's, our audience being other bankers, I think that piece right there is what everybody should take away, because again, the contracts in merchant services, sometimes, they don't even, the merchant, they don't understand it. They don't know. And when they can go and they say, well, last time I tried to do this, I tried to switch and I found out I was in a 5-year contract or a 2-year contract. And that's one of the first things that they get burnt by is their contract. And that's a huge thing. It's a testament to Banc Card and how they want to operate, and not tie somebody up and get them on the hook and then tie them up for the next 2 years or whatever. So,
absolutely.
But Tyler, for the listening audience, what is the best way for them to get in contact with you and work with you and your team to find out how they can get up and running?
I believe my information is on the KBA's website under the endorsed partnership list. But my email is, it's tcook@bankcard.com. My cell phone number, 502-494-6441. That's my cell number. So again, if they don't have that, or somebody does want to hear more about Banc Card or what we have to offer, obviously you can reach out to Selina, and she can make that connection. And then, like I said, Corey, he's worked his way up, but unfortunately for him, up our reference list. But he's been fantastic and has said, hey, listen, if you need me to talk to anybody, because he's been at other banks where they haven't used Banc Card, and he's been on both sides of the fence. And that's why I asked him to be on here, because that's really our true testament, is when I can say, pick up the phone and call these 10 banks, these 10 bankers, and ask them about their experience with Banc Card, what it was like prior and now, and that you're going to get the same thing. And that's what I love about Banc Card, is you can call a bank in Texas and Florida and Arkansas and New York and New Jersey, and you're going to get the same response about Banc Card and how we operate. And that's a true testament to us company-wide, is that we are, we're symmetrical throughout the entire footprint, and we do it from top to bottom the same way. And I think that's important.
Definitely. And thank you for taking time out of your busy days to be on here today and talk with our audience about Banc Card. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Corey. And I wish both of you all the best. And thank you for your support of KBA and all that you do with us and for us as Banc Card and also as Hometown Bank. We greatly appreciate the support and involvement that we get. Absolutely. And additional information is out there on KBA's website for Banc Card, and that's where you'll find Tyler's contact information. But that's all for this episode of KBA Vendor Viewpoint. Until next time, this podcast is a wrap.